Deep in a canyon of the Lower Pecos River Basin, just 18 miles from the Rio Grande River, lies an ancient spring that has been used for millennia as one of the stopping points on a migration route from northern New Mexico to the West Texas plains and the hunting grounds of the buffalo. This was one source of water in a string of clean water sources in a barren land that the indigenous people knew of for their seasonal journeys. Today, it is called Meyers Spring. When European frontier explorers first discovered it, they called it Paint Rock Spring. That's because below the springs, the water runs by a 100-foot-long limestone wall covered with pictographs. Although the limestone wall was painted on for thousands of years, the ancient drawings gave way to a more recent historic era, as travelers began creating their stories on stone. Many stories were of their hunts. However, some became a way to commemorate the most significant historical events. Historically, the Leipon and Mescalero Apache shared an overlapping region in northern Mexico and southern Texas. Thus, they have a shared cultural history. They were also both migratory tribes that moved with the seasons and followed the animal migrations. This led them through Meyers Spring regularly. In the early 1500s, the Leipon and Mescalero Apache were seasonally migrating from northern Mexico to the buffalo hunting grounds of the Upper Pecos River. On one of those journeys, they performed the crown dance, also known as the Gone or Mountain Spirit Ceremony. It is very much a family tribal ceremony. The ceremony was so meaningful that they must have decided it needed to be memorialized on the wall with all the other stories, and so became the pictographs of the crown dancer, giving the blessing to the event. The ceremony lasts 4 days and nights. At sunrise on the first day, the young woman runs 4 times a 100-yard course from a central teepee around a basket filled with ritual items of eagle feathers, cattail pollen, tobacco, and other ritual items. The runs represent the 4 stages of life, from baby to girl to adult to elder. Each night, the young woman performs traditional steps by the edge of the fire, accompanied by a group of 4 chanters and led by a medicine man. She will dance until dawn on the 4th night with the masked and body-painted crown dancers. On the 5th morning, the young woman repeats the basket runs she made on the first morning, only in reverse. The ceremony aims to teach Apache girls how to tap their reserves of inner strength, which are far deeper than they ever imagined. To the Apache, the clown is a sacred being with great power given to him by thunder. He represents just what the power of thunder exacerbates: fear from a tremendous power in the sky that is greater than anything we see on earth. In this way, the clown fooling around is a profound spiritual element of the ceremony, reflecting the randomness of catastrophe in his seemingly mad behavior, just as nature reminds us of our mortality from time to time. Now that we understand the crown dance ceremony, we turn to the pictograph on the wall at Meyers Spring. The analysis presented here is based on information from members of the Leipon Apache Band of Texas and the White Mountain Apache tribe. The crown dancer pictograph's prominent feature is the headdress. The crowns are not just ornamental. They serve as a conduit for spiritual energy, allowing the dancers to channel the power of the spirits during their performances, bringing them closer to the divine. This particular headdress has long been unique to the Mescalero Apache, who were originally from northern Mexico and lived alongside the Leipon Apache Band north of the Rio Grande River. The second prominent feature is the mask, which is intended to represent the spirit's non-facial features. Next, the crosses in the pictograph represent the wooden wands carried by the dancers, which represent the power of the Gone and the magic they possess. Not quite as easy to see in the pictograph is the depiction of the cross or star in the middle of the chest of the dancer. Although many images can be painted on the dancers, The star or cross shape, indicating the four cardinal directions, is a very common one. Below the dancer in the pictograph is also the depiction of a young deer on a roasting pit. The pictograph depiction of cooking a deer is significant. The crown dance ceremony is not only a spiritual and coming-of-age puberty ceremony for young women, but is also considered a ceremony of feasting. 5 feet to the left of the crown dancer is a Pat's crossing symbol, the identifying symbol of the Leipon Apache Band of Texas. The bottom part of the cross was shot off in the 1800s, but the spalled rock from bullet impacts is clearly defined. Historical evidence of this symbol being associated with the Leipon Apache Band of Texas can be found in the Texas Ranger Museum in Waco, Texas, which displays 1870s-era pair of Leipon Apache moccasins lined with this same cross. The current Leipon Apache Band of Texas continues to use this symbol on their teepees today. This is another indication to us that the Leipon and the Mescalero were, at one time, cross-cultural neighbors, and probably conducted their seasonal migrations and crown dance ceremonies together. To the indigenous people, this spring was a sacred place where they would put down on stone their important memorials to special events. This is the third pictograph on this wall that we have been able to interpret, which tells a story in memorial form, making this a unique and remarkable historical site in revealing Texas history. The West Texas Archeological Society was given special permission by the landowner to conduct their research on this private property. 2 organizations conduct tours of the pictograph wall with the landowner's consent. These are the Whitty Museum and Rock Art Foundation in San Antonio, Texas, and the Shumla Archaeological Research Center in Comstock, Texas. We are providing their website addresses for anyone interested in viewing this site in person.